Thank you for stopping by to view my channel. I hope you'll find something useful in this lesson today. I'm going to go over the key of G and some easy chords for you to play, because one of the first keys guitar players learn is the key of G. Because the main chords in the key of G, the G, the C, the D, and the E minor are all easy to play chords. There's no bar chords in the main chords you're going to have in the key of G. A majority of songs can be played if you know just these four chords. And obviously, if you can play them in many keys, it expands it but a lot. You can play a lot of different songs with those four chords, G, C, D, and E minor. But today we're going to just concentrate on the key of G and expanding those chords in a way that hopefully makes it easier for you to go from chord to chord and to understand how to do it efficiently. See, the problem many beginners have is transitioning from one chord to another chord efficiently and quickly. So these tips are going to make it a little easier for you to make some minor modifications from the book versions of the chords to chord forms that are more efficient and easier to connect together. Because remember, chords don't live on an island by themselves. They're connected to other chords in groups of chords. That is why it's good to learn fingerings that make it easier to play in whatever key you're playing the song in, so that you can go from the chords that are common in the key of G together with each other quicker. I have a video on the A chord form and how that commonly used book A chord form is the least efficient chord form in most of the songs in the key of A. So you might want to view that in the link below if you like this video. But again, thanks for coming here, so we'll get right to it. So the first chord you learn in the key of G is usually the G chord, and some people learn just the four-string version on the bottom four strings. And then you expand to this one where you have the second finger on the third fret of the E string, the first finger on the second fret of the A string, and the third finger down here on the third fret of the E string. What we're going to do today is do a four-finger version where you put now the third finger on the third fret of the B string. The fourth finger now is going to be busy here on the third fret of the E string, and then your second finger is down here on the G string, on the E string third fret, and the first finger is on the B string second fret. So you have a G chord like this. Now we're going to go to the C chord, but you're not going to lift up many fingers. You're just going to keep your third and fourth finger down here on the third fret of the B and E string, and you're going to take your second and first fingers and just move them down one string, and this is called a C add 9 because the third finger is playing that D note, which is the second note of the scale of C, or the add 9 or add 2. So that sounds like that. So it goes from G to C, back to G to C, and I only had to move two fingers, very little distance. That is the key to guitar playing, learning how to play things that don't require as much work. Also, one piece of information, you don't want this E string down here to ring. So the second finger is muting it. It's touching the side of that string so it doesn't play. So now you're G, G, C, G. Now the next one is the E minor, which again, you leave your third and your fourth finger down here on the third fret of the B and E string, and just going to do the typical E minor fingering with the first finger on the second fret of the A string, second finger on the second fret of the D string, and now you have the open E minor chord. It's actually an E minor seventh because of that D note. So you have the G, the C, the E minor, and now the D chord. Well, the good thing is that third finger here is not going to move. You move your first and second fingers down to the second fret of the G and E string, and then you can take your pinky off. Now another key to the D chord, if you're just a beginner, is to mute this low E string. Whoops, mute the low E string, because it doesn't sound right. It doesn't go on the chord. The A, if you hit the A string of the D chord, it still works because it's a dominant part of a D chord. So now we have back to the G, C, E minor, D. And if you're to the point where you're playing sus chords, you have them with the pinky on the D chord. So again, it's G, C, add 9, E minor 7th, D, G, C, E minor, and the D. Or you can do it with the C first, like a 4. Let's C, E minor, G, D, or a different feel in 6/8 feel. E minor, G, D, D. So there's so little movement in there. It's very simple. Once you get that third and fourth finger locked in on those two strings, you can just go away with it and have fun. If you have any other requests for videos, I do take requests, and I hopefully can get something together that helps you on your growth as a guitar player to the next level. And I do ask that you like and subscribe so I can keep doing these videos, and I appreciate you stopping by to watch it. Thank you.